Ba-ba, da-da-da-da-do. Na-na-na-na-na-na. I'll give it about a minute or two and then I'll start the topic of the day. Let's see if this is the right angle. Oh my. Ugh. I've been in the sun all day. My face looks withered. One more minute and then I'll get started on what I want to talk about today. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about the cost of following God. Now, in the Bible, it does talk about how when you follow God, that there is a price you pay, and that is division from the physical world. And that division will come from relationships and even your own sense of self in which you were unified with before you decided to commit yourself and surrender yourself to God. Now, that initial surrendering is a complete ego death because, what's up? That initial surrendering is a complete ego death. And when you follow God, the cost of it is separation from the relationships in which you had, because you are not going to be the same in which you were before you followed God. Now, you'll be divided from mother, father, brother, sister, friend, and everything that you once were when you were still in the world. Hey guys, that you were once in the world. Now, that will kill the present version of yourself. And with that, that's the cost. You have to give up yourself to truly follow God. And you cannot follow both self and God at the same time, as you cannot trust two different selves. One is a complete surrendering, and one is trusting yourself. And that will always bring so much turbulence and lies and deceit. You are a good man. Thank you. So, with that being said, are you willing to commit yourself to God? Because when you do commit yourself, your life will change and your relationships will change. And what comes from you is going to change. And most of the time that brings division, because when you're showing people true love, and true love is truth, not always going with people's emotions and what they believe is true to them, but truth has no identity. Truth has no self. So when you start following that and you stand on something above just going with what people want you to say or things like that, there will be a division from this world, and that's the cost of it. So you have to see if you're willing to commit yourself to God, if you're willing to surrender. 6, 7. So that's something we have to meditate on and really see if we're willing to step on this path. Are we willing to stand for truth and stand for love above all, knowing that there's a potential of losing that emotions that you really feel is love. 6-7 is a bad word, just made you, it's a bad word, he just made you say a bad word. I don't even have an opinion about that. It's not a bad word, it's only a bad word if you think it's a bad word. So you have to see if you're willing to step on that path. Means a bad word on YouTube, that is a meme. I'm not even aware of that. I didn't even know that was a thing till right now. So the cost of following God is sacrificing self and giving up ego. So if you're committed to the path, be willing to do that. You guys have any questions on the topic? I can just keep rambling. Like, are you guys committed to God? Are you guys committed to true change, which is giving up self, which is very hard to do? Are you committed to that? I know that when I started following God 100%, there was a complete change in myself and how I interacted with my family, most and foremost. It wasn't aggressive or anything like that people view it might be, but you definitely are. You're treating them a different way. How you interact with them is very different because you're moving without thought, without emotion. You're moving with just clarity in your eyes and seeing them for who they truly are. And you're not stuck within your old ego, how you used to move, how you used to do things. You're completely reborn. And that is a challenge that most of us will never want to accept or really start. So following God really requires you to give up self. You guys have any questions or anything? There's also something else I wanted to mention. That everything fades in life. And who you think you are is not eternal. And your life is not eternal. Everyone that you will know and have known will pass, and they're not going to be here forever. Everything you do, all the work that you work hard for, that's going to fade too. So don't become so identified with what you do or who you are, because those things will fade. And sit with the things that are eternal. Sit with the things that will last. And that is truth. That is wisdom and love. Those things will last eternally. And it also never changes. There's no fluctuations. Within self, within relationships, within life, there is going to be so many ups and downs. But that will always fade. Relationships that you cling on to, they will fade. The people that you love, they will leave your life. And the version that you're currently in will also fade. So that's why you must cling to truth, cling to love, because those are the eternal factors within life. Even when you look at nature, no season lasts forever. No season lasts forever. And you can't be like, I want summer all the time, I want fall all the time. We just have to adapt to the changes. And that's the same thing within life. So don't cling on to things. Allow it to flow, allow things to fade, and allow things to grow and die out in its natural course. And don't cling to it, because the only reason why you're clinging to it is because your ego. So, dude, what are you talking about, brother? Right now, I'm just talking about the book of Ecclesiastes and how really nothing is eternal, and we have to stop clinging to the things of this world and really ourselves and versions of ourselves, and just keep going with what is present in life and just see life for what it is and not trying to hold on to it, because everything is going to fade. And nature is the best analogy, because nature holds on to nothing, yet it's eternal. Summer will go, fall will come, and that will go, and same with winter and spring. It just is a constant cycle. So knowing that within ourselves, that the winter within our spirits never lasts, the summer the fall, the spring, it never lasts. So don't cling on to darkness, don't cling on to light, don't have an opinion about these things, because if you do, you'll be caught within a season. And most of the time, people will get caught in the winter of their spirit, thinking that's eternal. But it's only eternal because they're clinging on to it. So let that fade. And when the spring comes, let that fade. And when the summer comes, let it fade. Have no opinion. Allow life and God to present things exactly for what they are without an opinion. And move and flow with it. And yes, that is the most challenging part, because we want to have identity in this world. We want to have identity. We want to be constantly clinging on to something. Beautiful, bro. Love what you're doing. I'm at a church right now. Sweet, man. Stay in God's presence, but make sure your heart is always there too, even when you leave that church. So don't hold on to anything, and really have clear eyes when you're on this path with God. These clear eyes will allow you to see what God is presenting and revealing to you at that time. Thoughts and emotions will keep us in seasons, keep us in certain times within our life, thinking that it's eternal. And what the heck is this, a freaking chopper up above? But yeah, so don't cling on to things. Allow things to fade. Even the things that you love, the things that are good, allow that to fade. Allow the summer to fade. Yes, you might love it, but again, you'll not be able to see clearly what God is revealing. And I'm telling you, God does not speak to you. God does not move through emotions and thoughts. We would want to. We really want to say that is true. But God is so intimate, and He reveals deeply in our hearts. And that's not through thoughts and emotions. You'll start to see clear when you actually keep your eyes clear. So allow all things to fade. Allow the waters to be still. Let's walk above the water like Christ did, not go into the water of emotions. Stand above it. Don't get too high up in the clouds, and don't get too deep into the waters. Well, that sucks. This guy just started playing golf right in front of me. Okay, I'll give it a couple more minutes, and then I will dip for today. I might be back online, but what's my favorite verse? The kingdom of God is within. And we got to remember that at all times, because we have access to the kingdom of God within. We have access to heaven at all times. And we cannot let that fade. So even if we're going through hell physically, even if we're going through trials and tribulations, we still have that inner kingdom. That's crazy work. That's crazy work. What's your favorite verse, man? That's crazy. As soon as I start doing this live, someone starts playing tennis against a wall near me. That's crazy. Yeah, what's your favorite verse, man? I'll be on here for another 2-3 minutes. Then I gotta do some filming for some YouTube content. But keep in mind that you always have access to that inner heaven. You always have access to it. There's nowhere to go but here. There's nowhere to travel in your imagination or in your thoughts or in your emotions, because the kingdom is here within at all times. And Christ died for this. You got to keep in mind that Jesus Christ died for this, for us to have this information, this knowledge, this wisdom, this love. And He's already come back. He's in our hearts. So we have to keep that in mind too. That salvation is at hand. We don't have to go anywhere. We don't have to do anything. We have it eternally within us. So stay in prayer. Stay present at all times. And you'll start to see God's glory and like His grace without any trying, without any doing. All you gotta do is give up self, which is thoughts and emotions, and you'll be free. And life will be beautiful, even through the trials and tribulations. Okay, any more questions? Anything? Okay, thank you guys for tuning in and listening. I might be back live later on this week. Let me see. The Spirit produces love, joy, presence, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, humility, and self-control. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. It's true. That's actually what the Spirit of God does produce. All those things without even trying. When you're out of thoughts, when you're out of emotions, it was like lagging. Don't worry, man. That's beautiful. The Spirit produces love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, humility, and self-control. And that's so true, because truly when you are in God's will, those things come naturally. You don't even have to try. It's just the things that flow from you because you're one with the Creator again. Okay, guys, thank you for tuning in. I'll be back later on this weekend and we'll talk, okay? Peace.